So we are doing a slow stew of chicken. This is just a very simple recipe. I threw a handful of vegetables in and some water, some spices, and now I brought it to a heavy boil over a hot fire, and now it's up a bit, and it's just going to cook there for the next, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours.
5 or 6 hours, okay.
You want the chicken to be falling off the bone?
Okay, it looks close-ish?
You could eat it now.
Okay.
It is not raw by any means. The chicken is probably done, but I want it to sit and stew like really well.
Okay.
It also tastes nicer when it sits in the liquid longer. So.
Okay, yeah. So so back then people would just throw whatever they had back in the pot and it would just sit all day long.
Especially in the lower classes, almost everything that you were eating would have been boiled. Because then you have a built-in next meal.
Okay.
So tonight we're having chicken.
Yeah.
So I'll take the chicken out and I'll serve it with whatever else we have. But there's liquid left in there and the smatterings of vegetables. So that might get turned into tomorrow's soup. Mm-hmm. Or I might make pottage out of it the next morning with some oats or some barley. And that becomes the next meal.
Okay.
Nothing was wasted. And so you got the goodness of the meat in the next thing you ate, even if it didn't have any meat in it itself.
Okay. Yeah, because there's a lot of that's interesting though that they would throw oats into a stew with chicken and vegetables.
Absolutely, oats and barley were two of the most prevalent things that we see, and they had breads made out of those too. So they would grind them and make oat bread and barley bread and.
Okay. So would it just be anything? Like would they also throw fruits in, or would they scrape the pot out and do something separate?
They probably would have just put something else into the pot. When you're talking about having been poor myself in a modern context, I always had a pot of soup sitting on the back of my stove. Every day it got heated up and you put your leftovers in it and then you would eat from it. And it changed. It might start out as chicken soup and end up as beef stew, but you just add and go as you go. And they did a lot of that because you didn't want to waste any food. You would boil chicken bones or beef bones several times to get all the goodness out of it because you don't want to waste anything.
Okay. So that is your fun fact for the day.
There you go.